I already mentioned that I played the cornet in high school. But how did you know what key he was in to play? Because the piano and the horn aren't the same key either, are they? Are they the same horn? Say no. So you picked the key, and then he matched it with an instrument that is not even the same key. I'm done. Mrs. Killstrom's amazing. That's amazing. We want to start with a word of prayer, and then we will. I see we're going to be taking an offering as well, but we want to start with a word of prayer. So let's pray. Dear Lord, we thank you for all that you've done for us. We thank you for the time together here this morning and the time of fellowship around the table as well. But I pray that here as we finish out the day, I pray that you continue just to allow our fellowship, our time together to be sweet and bring honor and glory to you. And so we thank you for the Wrights. I pray that you continue to meet their needs as they minister. It's really not just here, but in many other churches, and certainly there at Maranatha. And we thank you for their testimony, for their heart for you, for their heart for ministry. And I pray that you continue to use them for many years if you see fit. And we thank you for that. In Jesus' name, amen. We do want to take a love offering, and I think Josiah, you can almost use either of them now. Obviously, working at Maranatha is an extremely wealthy proposition for them, and so this is just a formality because they don't actually need Maranatha just pays them that well. And we want to be a blessing to them, as they certainly have been a tremendous blessing to us, and I know that they are a huge blessing there on campus, and always a joy to see. In fact, I don't know if we passed on the stairway, but I didn't realize it was you. My daughter said, "We just passed him." What? But we had a Josh sighting at lunch, and so it was one of those all the way across the room. There he is. Yeah, we were at Maranatha on Thursday, and but it's just a joy to be able to know that there are which Maranatha is known for. Having faculty and staff that are truly there for ministry, truly there to impact hearts and lives, and I thank you for that. But they don't pay them well, as many Christian institutions are. Best they are able to do. I'll say it that way, because I'm fumbling over my words here. But we want to have a blessing to them as they have encouraged us, and certainly this morning was amazing. That truly was wonderful. And looking forward to hearing this afternoon. But we have an opportunity to be a blessing to them and say thank you to them. And so we're going to have Josiah take an offering. So this is just be for the Wrights. And how do you didn't want to interrupt anything. Well, it has been a blessing to have Heather Wright here, and I don't need to introduce them any farther. We are very aware. We've heard them before. But we want to turn over the afternoon to them. And
good afternoon. Hey, that's pretty good. Hey, that was a delicious meal. Thank you so much for that. It is always amazing food when we come here, and we sure appreciate that. And I'm feeling ready to take a nap. I'm sure you are too. And so it won't be long today. I've got 4 or 5 songs now, back to 5 that we'll do, and hopefully all lighthearted and keep you awake type songs, but with a point. Hopefully that we'll have that. I'm going to start with a piano number, and you see that there's a tuba up here. There's another way of tubing a tuba, and that is called a sousaphone. It was named after a guy by the name of John Philip Sousa, who wrote pep band music. His music is very lighthearted and patriotic, and just kind of makes you want to tap your foot. So I've taken, actually this is a rendition of what Dr. Budal did, taking some Sousa melodies and putting them together, and we'll call it Sunlight Sousa. That I just inserted, so I'm sorry I don't have a PowerPoint for it here, but I guess everyone else has seen it here but you, so we'll do it for you. The name of the song is Onward Christian Soldiers, and when I went to arrange the song, I wanted to give it a military feeling. So with my left hand, through most of the song, I'll be playing a tune that AJ is very familiar with, Reveille, gets you up in the morning. And when I get to the second verse, I want to add some more soldier spirit to it. So with my right hand, I've added charge. But I ran into a problem there because I'm playing Reveille with this hand and charge with this hand. The problem is, how do I play the melody? Well, watch carefully.
I especially liked the bridge.
Yeah. Yes. Now you can say you met somebody that really moves and play. It's not. Yes, but as I was telling Pastor, please, if you see me in public, not in this context, please don't say, "Oh, there's the guy that plays with his nose." Just doesn't come across well. Always add the piano. All right. Well, we're going to move right along this afternoon. We're going to do a couple of songs with a point. Now, this one I'm going to do. I need your help with. Okay, don't go anywhere, Josiah. I need your help with this. Okay. All right. When I point to you, I need you to say, "Oh no." Okay. Let's try it. Ready?
Oh no.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It was. I need more of a hearty, like you're just about to take. Like a geometry test.
Oh
no! Okay, yeah, that's more like it. That's what we're after on that one here. Okay, good. This is called the Hornet Song. When the Canaanites hardened their hearts against God and grieved Him because of their sin, God sent along hornets to bring them to time and to help His own people to win. The hornets persuaded them that it was best to go quickly and not to go slow. They did not compel them to go against their will. They just made them willing to go. God does not compel us to go. Oh no! He does not compel us to go. God does not compel us to go against our will. He just makes us willing to go. If a nest of live hornets were brought to this room and the creatures allowed to go free, you would not need urging to make yourself scarce. You just want to get out, don't you see? They would not lay hold and by force of their strength throw you out of the window, oh no. They would not compel you to go against your will. They just make you willing to go. God does not compel us to go. Oh, no. He does not compel us to go. God does not compel us to go against our will. He just makes us willing to go. When Jonah was sent to the work of the Lord, the outlook was not very bright. He never had done such a hard thing before. So he backed off and ran from the fight. The Lord sent a big fish to swallow him up. The story I'm sure you all know. He did not compel him to go against his will. He just made him willing to go. Oh, Christian, is Jesus now speaking to you about something He bids you to do? Don't harden your heart and be stubborn, oh no. It's best if you're willing to go. God does not compel us to go. Oh no! He does not compel us to go. God does not compel us to go against our will. He just makes us willing to go. All right, that's the rest of the story about Joshua in there as well. At this point, we're going to do the song you've all been waiting for. So we're going to get the big gun out here. But here, this song is a quiz. And there are 4 Old Testament characters represented in this Old Testament medley of songs. Okay, so Josh and I are going to play this as a duet together. But when we're done, James, John, Josiah, you guys are going to have to tell me what the 4 people are. Okay? All right, ready? Shorty. Ready? Who was? All right, did we get him, guys? Let's start with John. Jonah, he got the last one. Very good. James, you can give me another one? No? Okay. Fell asleep. That's all right. No. Josiah, can you give me another one? No. John? Wow. I can hear it.
Oh, I see.
Abby, louder. Zacchaeus was in there too? Wow, cool.
Did you hear it?
Yes.
No? No? Okay, the first one.
Daniel?
Dun, 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 dun. Thank you, very good. How did Moses cross the Red Sea? I know it's also another tune too, isn't it? Glory, glory, hallelujah. But it's also Moses crossed the Red Sea. And the second one, did you get the second one? I heard it over here, Pastor. Did you hear it? Joshua at the Battle of Jericho. Oh, yeah, okay. So we've got Jonah, Joshua, Moses, and David. Only a boy named David. Very, very good, young and old people alike. All right, one more song before I turn it back over to Pastor. This is a song that, again, kind of a cute song, but with a point. If you remember reading about Pharaoh and Moses, when the plague of the frogs came, if you'll remember that when Moses asked Pharaoh when he wanted the frogs taken away, do you remember his answer? It wasn't right now. It was tomorrow. And this song takes that and kind of gives it a biblical point as well. Over in the books of Moses, the strangest thing I found about this man called Pharaoh, there were plagues all over town. He was very hard and he disobeyed the things that God had said. So the Lord sent lice, flies, and frogs, and turned the waters to a muddy red. Moses said to Pharaoh, you better let my people go. Pharaoh said to Moses, now you know this can't be so. Why don't you come back in the morning? I'll take a journey with you one and all. But tonight I just can't give them up. I want one more night with the frogs. One more night with the singing frogs. One more night in sin. I had a terrible time with them last night, and I just gotta do it again. It'll always be a puzzle to me, and I reckon it's all because he could have sleep, rest in peace, but chose one more night with the frogs. Now today there's a lot of people like the ones in Egypt land who go staggering, slipping and sliding, doing all they can to stand, just holding on to some crazy sin that doesn't help them out at all. They're gonna give it up tomorrow, but want one more night with the frogs. One more night with the stinking frogs. One more night in sin. I had a terrible time with them last night, and I just gotta do it again. It'll always be a puzzle to me, and I reckon it's all because he could have sleep, rest in peace, but chose one more night with the frogs. He could have sleep, rest in peace, but chose one more night with the frogs. One more night with the frogs.
Thank you. Wonderful. Well, not staying the night with the frogs, but the rest of our time together has been a blessing. We didn't take any time this morning before we dismissed for the word of prayer. We didn't take any time this morning for any testimony praises. And certainly on our 58th anniversary, that seems appropriate to at least ask if there's anything that we are thankful for that we can give as a praise to our God for what he's done. Certainly, obviously 58 years ago, I was not even alive. And just in the bulletin to see the pastors that have been here and served and sacrificed in many cases. It really kind of is an honor to realize that I'm just part of that. And if the Lord tarries, perhaps there'll be many more that follow after me. I'll realize that just another instrument, so to speak, in this work here at Tulane. And I think it's always a great reminder for all of us, not just me, for all of us to realize ministry is always bigger than us. It's bigger than our at the end of our nose. And how God works and even as I had mentioned this morning to start us off with the Bible studies, I don't understand all the details. It sounded like mostly just ladies, older ladies getting in. Man, I say older ladies, they were in their 30s, obviously. Mary was 35. But ladies getting together and having a Bible study, and then husbands started to get involved, and we prolonged churches for them. And how each step of the way, sometimes seemingly insignificant at the time, insignificant things were done. That turned out to be very significant because God was in it. And only praise to him. Thank you for that. But anybody else?
It's the same phrase, but the visit with Muriel was timely. We visited with her many times, but her mind was recollecting so much of the start of the church, and she mentioned different pastors and things they did to the parsonage to prepare it. Things we've met some of the pastors from years past, and it was just a good time because we're thinking about this, but to remember the history that's been here and all the people who served and just wanted to share the gospel and how many people had been saved just as she was recounting. But then I was really blessed. She showed us her Bible, that she took the time to write down all of the different family members and when they were saved and when they were baptized, and was full of hymn titles. I found that very interesting. Bible references and hymn titles that she just jotted down here and there. There's a treasure right there, and it's just a reminder that you know that she loves the Lord, and it's just evident. It flows from her, and just that challenge: do I live that kind of life, and can we carry that on? We need to leave it for the people around us, and it was a real blessing.
Very good. Very good. jump and continue it, and I promise you guys will have time here in a moment once we're done talking.
Maybe.
Maybe, we'll see. What I mentioned earlier as well, is a reminder of how those that have come from this little church over the years and are now in ministry. There's several pastors that grew up here that are in ministry now. Obviously, the Mumfords that we support. Cindy grew up in this church, and obviously she would meet a Mumford, I think at Pillsbury. And obviously the Mumfords as a family have been in the ministry for many years, for many decades. But Cindy, the wife of the missionaries we support, grew up in this church, and same her dad.
Ernie, but I
Ernie.
can't remember the last name.
Schmidt, Ernie Schmidt, for a time was the dean at Faith Seminary in Ankeny. But also had roles at Pillsbury as well before they closed, from this church. And certainly the list goes on. I like to say, my son's at the Wilds. Certainly just a reminder that's, as we sang, our only song that we sang together, little is much here this afternoon. Little is much when God is in it. And we're a small church, and for the most part have always been a relatively small church. But little is much when God is in it. And I'm thankful that that is the case. That God still does, He only needs a David. We just heard at times. He only needs a Joshua at times. But He needs us to be willing. And sometimes we need those hornets to help us be willing. Well, there's a lot to be thankful for as a church, certainly as a pastor of a church as well. Any others?
I'm just going to continue in the Muriel theme.
Yes.
Because that's when we first met Muriel, was here many years ago.
Yes.
And then I didn't see her for quite a few years, and just happened to run into her and Susan one day in Walmart, and then I stopped to see Muriel after that, and kind of renewed that friendship.
Mm-hmm.
But what strikes me is that she's been basically alone in that house for a long time.
Yes.
Not able to come to church. I don't think she was able to listen because I don't think technology-wise she was able to get, what you stream today.
Yes.
But it didn't stop her.
Correct.
She was still reading her Bible. She was still singing hymns to herself.
Yes.
And she was still carrying it on to the next generation.
Correct.
And on the front of her Bible, I'm sure you noticed there's a little sticker. And it says, "To Susan when I'm gone."
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think Susan goes to church. But if she gets her mother's Bible and treasures it, all those things that are underlined and circled and in different colors,
That's right. Yes.
she's trying to pass on,
Correct. That's exactly right.
So it's been a blessing to get to know her again.
Yes. Very true. Anybody else?
I'm thankful for the little over 2 years that we've been here, and just lots of prayer support, lots of encouragement, and just the continuing, basically all that we've been through the last 2 years that we've been here. So, but it's been great to have just all that support, the word, and
And we have all taken a vote and have decided that you guys are not going to be moving to the
We're keeping
unless you take us all.
Plenty of room.
Plenty of room. Okay.
There's a little startup church just down at the end of our road that been 4 years, and they could use
That's right.
folks.
Well, all in favor of moving next year to Tennessee? It won't be the 59th, it'll be something else. Fifth. It'll be the 5th or something. Very good. Anybody else? If not, it has been I'm so thankful that this all worked out, and thankful that just for what we were able to be challenged by here this morning and afternoon, and just for their time, for the Wrights to be able to come and minister to us, and just joy that they bring, the excitement. We may need to do some piano repairs, but it's worth it. It's definitely worth it, and all is well in that regard. But it has been good, and she closed the prayer. Lord, we thank you that you great, good God. Thank you that you are a merciful God, that your mercy is renewed every morning. We thank you. And as we consider the history, we consider the lineage of sorts of this church here in Toulon, from its very beginning until today, we thank you for the way that you have used this church, that you have used those that are in this church, and how lives have been changed, and even in ministry today because of what took place here. We thank you that it's not because of us, not because of this building, not because of any pastors, but because of you, and we give you the glory for all of the things, all the events of today. And we ask that as we go our separate ways, they challenge us in truly in having the reality of leaving to that next generation what you've given us today. And I just pray that you would open up our eyes, open up those opportunities, and you give us that boldness to kind of encourage us to be willing, as we heard, to truly do what you call us to do. And we thank you for that. In Jesus' name, amen. You are dismissed.